entrepreneur, you've probably had this drilled into your head. You've got to be able to let go to grow your business and be able to expand your income, have a greater impact, all to be able to do more of the things that you love. We all know we have to get someone else on board. But then the question becomes, where on earth are you going to find a really great team member, especially when you go into the world of virtual assistants and hiring contractors? I mean, there's so many options out there. Well, today I wanted to bring on a special guest, someone that I have found is just extraordinary with how to help people get the right kind of virtual assistants for their business. So you can really let go. You can hire someone that you can rely on and trust to run your business on your behalf. Hi, I'm Melanie Benson. I'm known as America's leading small business optimizer. And this is a weekly podcast designed to help you identify the places where you may be getting overwhelmed and learn really simple yet highly effective techniques to optimize the different parts of your business so that you can work more effectively. Now, the whole point of optimizing is that you can basically have a way to put a little bit of effort into things, but they get exponential results. And in my boat, one of the most powerful places we need to optimize is getting things done through a team. So let me introduce to you Jennifer Gallagher. Now, Jennifer is the general manager of a company called Contemporary VA. She is a virtual assistance firm that provides entrepreneurs with highly skilled and proactive virtual assistants who share your desire for your business's success. And I have to tell you, I've been hiring VAs for about 12 years. I have had all kinds of experiences with virtual assistants and online business managers and basically the whole spectrum of online support systems. And I have been so blown away. I personally use Contemporary VA, and I have found that the level of customer service support and training and just the integrity behind how this business is run has made me a loyal customer. So Jennifer, thanks so much for coming on today and being willing to share a little bit about how what you guys do makes this company so unique and makes it such a great choice for an entrepreneur that wants to have someone help them run their business.
Awesome. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you so much for having us today. Excited to be here and talk to you.
Yeah. And you know, this is such a big question. I can't tell you how many people ask me, Melanie, who should I hire? Melanie, where should I look? Melanie, who's a good VA? Melanie, what is it that, I need to be looking for? Of course, you probably know I built a whole training program called How to Build Your Dream Team to help entrepreneurs really figure this out. But then you still have to know where to look.
Right.
And so let's talk a little bit about why Contemporary VA was born. Like, what was the catalyst to start this company, and what is the core mission of Contemporary VA that makes you guys so different out there?
Right. Thank you. Well, it's interesting because we started over, we're going on 15 years now, believe it or not, which is a really long time for a virtual assistant company. I don't think a lot of people knew what a VA was even 5 years ago. But we started as like an accounting firm, believe it or not. And we had our customers wanting us to do all these other little things. Could you also do this for me? Do you know how to do a newsletter? Do you know what this crazy Aweber thing is? Or somebody's telling me I need an opt-in. I don't even know what that is. Will you guys just do it? So we decided, okay, wow, we'll start doing this for them. And the next thing you knew, we had more and more people coming to us for those sorts of things rather than our accounting. So we just decided hey, we really want to service these customers. So let's really focus on being the best VA firm that we can be. So we created just the VA side of it and really focused on, it wasn't even just as much just for, hey, let's do a little bit here, a little bit there. We decided, let's really help the entrepreneurs and become a business partner for them and not just do a bunch of tasks. And then we realized also what we could deliver, I think, to women that stay at home and still want a career, not just a job, not just some tasks to do here and there, but really feel integrated back into the workforce, can really make a difference. And I think we've succeeded on both those missions, that we all feel like partners in our clients' businesses. We really feel like we want to make a huge difference and be proactive. And, we know your business inside and out. That's kind of our goal, and I think makes us a little unique. And then we also fulfill our mission of really trying to get women into the workforce and really feeling like we have careers and are successful and making a difference. So I think that's been really important to us as well.
And, in my experience, you have a very unique set of values that I truly believe sets the way you do hiring and the way you do placement apart from a lot of other virtual assistant offerings out there. And first of all, let's explain that your company, and it is a company, it's
Yes.
not just, someone kind of on the side doing virtual assistant support, but this is a real company that specializes in matching the right type of virtual assistant to the entrepreneur based on their unique skills and their unique personality points. And, you guys put a lot of care and attention into making sure that this is a good match and it's not just throwing somebody at a solution, hoping it works out.
Right.
But you guys also do a ton of training. And, one of the things that you guys do that takes so much pressure off the entrepreneur is you train your team members on how to be a good virtual assistant.
Yes, yeah, there's a very long ramp up period with our virtual assistants. We recruit wholly some of our European clients, they do want virtual assistants in the UK, so we will have some UK virtual assistants as well, but otherwise our team is typically based all in the US. And when they join us, we have a very long, big screening process and lots of things that the virtual assistants have to write, and writing samples and screening tests before they get hired. And once they're hired, they go through a project virtual assistant time period, which is about 60 to 90 days, sort of depending on the person and how good they're doing. They go through a whole set of curriculum that they have to complete before they can be considered. And then we do an official employee evaluation like you would get at any other job, and once they pass that successfully, and that evaluation is put together from all of our virtual assistants that person has done work for. So they're never working with a client at that stage. They're just doing project work that a team member is giving them, checking it to make sure it's perfect before it goes to our client. And then their review is done from that team. It's a very collaborative process. And then they go to become an apprentice, where they get matched with a team leader. They get on a little team, they get mentored by a team leader, go through a whole set of curriculum, and only after completing that, which takes anywhere from 90 to 120 days, again, depending on the person, they complete an evaluation after that, or some like to call it a test to see how they're doing, both on hard skills and soft skills. So it's not just about can they press the WordPress buttons, it's how are they communicating? Will they make a difference for a client's business? Are they somebody that needs a to-do list to work from? Or are they somebody that's going to say, oh, wait, Melanie's doing this interview on Monday. I bet I should remind the people what they need to talk about. Or I bet she might need somebody to maybe edit the video afterwards. And so they'll go and suggest it. They don't need the client to say, go do A, B, and C. Our VAs are going to do D, E, F, and G without you telling them. So then only after they go through that apprentice area are they going to be assigned their first client. So it's typically around the year mark where they get their own first client directly. And that's regardless as if they've had their own virtual assistant firm for 10 years or they're brand new. I'll put them through that curriculum before they're going to get directly to a client. And then we continue that. We have weekly virtual assistant training. Every Wednesday we do some sort of training for our staff. So could be on the latest and greatest social media, or it could be on, hey, how to add some value to your clients and some great ideas to take to our clients. And then our VAs all work in small group teams, 5 or 6 VAs to a team. They're kind of all matched together based on their skill sets. So each team has a rock star social media person and a rock star WordPress and maybe an Infusionsoft person. And they all meet in their teams as well to do team training. So they all kind of share each other's things that they've learned. Hey, I learned this awesome thing in social media. You should share it with your client. Or I learned this awesome new cool Infusionsoft trick you must take to your client and use. So we do that kind of ongoing training as well. We even have our own internal Facebook, if you will. It's called Socialcast we use for our team that we're always sharing stuff all day long. You could go on there and see, hey, I just learned this. Hey, I just learned that. Go look at this. And we even have a business book club where we're reading about teaming. Right now, our new book, we're reading about the 5 dysfunctions of a team. So that's our latest thing that we're doing with our team leaders to kind of all develop our skills ongoing. We're all kind of always looking to develop and grow. So it's really fun. That's one of our core values is that we embrace learning. And that's across the board. We learn from our clients so much, and we also learn from one another, and then we pass that on to all of our clients as well. So it's really fun. We love that.
Now, are you a good fit for anybody who might need to hire help?
Yeah, I think so. Yes. I know that's kind of broad, but we really are, because we have different plans for different people. So if you're somebody who I just need this one newsletter template created. That's all I need. I'm not going to need anything for 6 months. We do have plans that kind of just help you for a couple of hours. And if we don't hear from you for a couple of months, that's great. We'll see you when you come back and you need something else. Or for those clients that need regular daily support. And it can be anything from, editing videos, doing social media, writing blogs. We do a lot of writing tasks. Anything with Infusionsoft or any other kind of shopping cart provider, to, answering customer service emails, organizing people's lives for them. We do a lot of Christmas shopping during the holidays. I was saying I needed a VA this holiday season to do my holiday shopping for me. A lot of traveling, a lot of general administrative tasks, but a lot more like technical and business building tasks, I think. That I think some of the clients, when they come to us, are awfully surprised at the kind of things their VA can take off their plate that they didn't even realize a virtual assistant would do. They tend to think, oh yeah, you could schedule my social media. They don't realize the VA could sit down and kind of plan out this marketing campaign and put it in a system for them and do it from kind of A to Z for them as well. So I think that's kind of fun.
And how important have you found systems to be in making all of this work effectively? Because
they are extremely important. We say we wish you could talk to all of our clients for us all the time, because it's those that are systematized and let us put those systems in place are the most successful clients that we have, not just for us, but in their businesses.
Right.
It's amazing. We love the clients that come and say, hey, I use this project management system, and this is how I do this, and this is my process for that. Or I know I need a bunch of processes. I don't have them, but I want you guys to build them for me. That is like our best favorite client. It's wonderful. After any client is with us for 90 days, we actually develop an operations manual for them that says, here's everything that we do for you. Here's everything you like. So your branding or your preferences. Here's how we do your video podcast. Here's how we take care of your social media. And we write it all up in a manual. And then we send it to our clients and say, here's the manual that kind of documents everything that's being done in your business, exactly how to do it. The clients get to approve it. They can add to it, comment about it. And then we go through that process every 90 days. And we use that, not just to get our clients' business really systematized, but also so we can review it every 90 days and say, hey, is this still working this way? Does this still make sense for us to do this every Tuesday at 12 o'clock? Does it still make sense for us to send out a newsletter every week? Or maybe we should go back to every other week. What is working, what isn't? And then we train a backup VA as well using those processes. So if the current VA is sick, goes on vacation for a week, our clients aren't left in the lurch like, oh no, now my newsletter doesn't go out on Tuesday because my VA is off sick. No, that's not what happens. Our backup VA steps in. They've already been trained. They have the manual, and you have someone to take care of you in their absence. So that works really well, I think. And it's really nice for the clients because I think it does give them an opportunity every 90 days or so to go back and say, hey, is this value added for my business? Do I need to keep doing this? Or can I tweak this a little bit to make it more cost effective? Is it still bringing me what I want it to bring me for my business? Yeah, so we like that.
I love the systems part of business in general. I mean, I feel like I'm so much more efficient when I have the right systems in place, but they're really hard to keep up with. So I love that feature of Contemporary VA. But you know what it also makes me think of is that I'm sure there's a lot of places where entrepreneurs are kind of unwittingly kind of shooting themselves in the foot when they're working with the VA. And we won't ask you to use any names or anything, but can you share maybe a couple places that you've witnessed that could help our listener really get like, hey, if you're trying to hire and use a team and you're doing these things, you're actually making it harder for your VA to support you properly. So we talked about systems. Is there anything else that maybe someone could learn from what you've witnessed?
Yeah, I think open communication is so important. And I know that seems very obvious, but I even mean it in like the clients just telling us what they are doing that day. I mean, just as simple as this is what my to-do list is this week, virtual assistant. And the VA will know then how best to support you that week and can even say, wait a minute, why are you doing those 5 things? I can do those 5 things. Go focus on these other things that are going to actually generate revenue for you. You shouldn't be doing sending out the newsletter. You shouldn't be scheduling your blogs. Don't be silly. We can do that. You go and talk to your clients, get some more coaching clients. That I think is really important. That openness of communication and regular communication is really super important. I think allowing some sort of, I know it's still system based, but some sort of task management communication is so important. Both the client putting their tasks in there and the VAs putting their tasks in there so everybody kind of understands what's going on and how things relate. That's how the VAs really can add value, is knowing what else is in the plan. What are you working on? Which I think leads to is, and they all kind of go together with the communication, is really providing the VA with the big picture and not just saying, here, do this piece. If the VA doesn't understand where it fits, what part of the big picture it is, what your end goal is with the project, they're really not going to be able to add a ton of value or be proactive or offer assistance if they're just kind of, okay, I'm going to process this and move it off their desk. But if you share, hey, I want to do this launch and this is my goal for this launch and this year I want to accomplish these 10 things, even at a very high level, it makes it really nice for the VAs to come back and say to all of us, because we talk about our clients all the time, hey, my clients' goals this year are to make $10 million and sell to 500 people and obtain, 10 million more followers on Facebook. We talk and we brainstorm ideas for our clients. So knowing those high level goals make for a really successful relationship and let us do a better job, I think, for our clients.
And what you're describing is really the entrepreneur's opportunity to shift gears out of just being so focused on the day-to-day and the details and
Sure.
Taking a step back and being more of that leader energy for a little bit. It's like looking at the big picture and sharing the big picture. It's actually a really deep muscle that has to be conditioned because most entrepreneurs are so in this frenetic, do next, right. What do I need to do next? So I love that you brought that up. And it kind of is a great transition point because I'd like to take a step back and really look into how you guys got where you are today, because you are a company with a lot of moving parts and you've grown significantly. Obviously, you're doing a lot of things very right, but I'm wondering, what had to change or evolve in the way the business is today to allow you to serve people like you are now?
Yeah, it really came to be about focusing on the team. I mean, that really is 100% what has allowed us to grow significantly over the last 2 years. Really coming back and what else can everybody do for us? That's why we came up with the team leader concept 2 years ago. We started in 2013. We had 2 or 3 team leaders. Last year, we promoted 4 more people to team leaders, created 4 more teams, and that really changed the complete structure of the company. It allowed myself, who's the general manager, and I have an assistant general manager that works with me. We're kind of it for the management part, but it allowed us to kind of take away focus from the day-to-day things and allow us to focus on the vision and the development and the training for our staff and do things like create core values and make the mission succeed and create new training programs and development programs for our staff by relying on our team and looking at everybody's strengths and really using them for different things. Looking at someone and saying they really are awesome at training new people. They love it. So let's put them in that position and let them shine. Mm-hmm. And I think we got better at knowing our staff and making better VA client marriages, so to speak. I mean, we really look at it as a marriage. So I think it's really taking the time to understand our clients and really pair them with somebody who's and using the whole team to work for the clients, not just here's your one person. You can get what you can get from that one person. I mean, we created those teams and that works great. So if you ask your VA to do a video wheelhouse. You don't have to talk to 10 other people to get it done. Your VA sends it to the person, and your VA just manages it and makes sure it's done perfectly. And that made a huge difference. The whole of relying on the team, which is kind of what we tell our clients to do. I think we listen to our own advice, and it really changed the structure of CVA. Mm-hmm. It's been awesome.
It's kind of interesting. It's like what you deliver as a service is actually what you guys have to excel at, because you're really building for yourselves the same things you offer to your clients. So I'm curious if there's been a really huge like sticky point, or maybe a challenge that you guys had to face and address in order to be able to grow and evolve as a company.
Yeah, I think it was learning to delegate was a big issue for myself personally as a manager, to, trust and rely that I don't have to be involved in every single thing. So that was definitely the hardest thing for me. And it was the best decision I ever made, obviously. That was a hard thing. And then I think just really taking the time and learning how to work on that development for different people with different, to figure out how to give each individual what they need with to do it. So that was a hard thing for us to do, but I think we got there, and we're still learning every day. And I think it's being willing to kind of keep our eyes and ears open to anybody, even if it's somebody that just started yesterday, what they think and how they feel things are going, and keeping those lines of communication really open, even though we're virtual. That's a struggle. How do we know what people are doing all day long when we obviously can't see them? So you can't really be a control freak.
Well, yeah, as a virtual team leader, like that's a whole nother dynamic, because most people, it's like, okay, if this is going to work, I need to see and be in the presence of people. So you have to learn how to let go, but keep things in flow. So what works for you? Because I know that's a huge sticky point for a lot of the people that I coach is, I don't know if I can do a virtual team because I can't see them.
Right. I think it's like using the tools that we tell our clients to use. We tell our clients to use project management systems and communication tools. We do that here. We have for our customer support team, we call them client advocates. They check in on our clients, regular intervals, more often when you're a new client, a little less often when you're established and we know you're happy and kind of rolling along. But we have a whole internal system that we developed for that to make sure all of our clients are touched in so many days, so that we never go without hearing or talking to a client and really getting to know them and understand them. That makes a huge difference for us. Using that system is great. I mean, there's no way for us to not talk to the clients, and it's very transparent. So I can see at any point, hey, who did we talk to today? What did they say? How is it going? Which obviously lets us know how our staff is, and our team leaders have regular reporting tools, just as we would with a virtual assistant. They let us know what's going on this week, what their goals were, what their highs were, what their lows were. Our team leaders work well with their teams. We have them, we kind of leave it up to them on their day-to-day communications. They do a lot of fun things, like what is their team's pit and peak for the day or for the week, and what is their word that they're most focused on that week. It's really fun. So, we also on it that way, instead of obviously going to their desks and seeing what they're working on.
Right. And if they're not checking in for days at a time, it's like,
well, yes. Yeah, we do. Our VAs all log time to a little pop-up timer on their screen. So, at any point I could go to the system and say, okay, who's got a timer up and who doesn't have a timer up? And log their time, and I can see, oh, they logged an hour, and in that hour, here's exactly what they did. They type in notes, and it says, these are all the things I did in that hour. So it's transparent to me as their manager, but it's also transparent then to you as a client what your VA did. So you can run a report anytime and say, oh, wow, this is what my VA did. This is when she did it. This is the exact amount of time they used. So if you ever have a question or you want to know what's going on, it's also a great way to kind of track ROI for our clients. So if you know that you're doing a lot of social media, for example, you could have just a social media timer at the end of the month. Your VA can do your social media statistics report, and you can look at the time and say, okay, wow, I had, a much higher growth, much higher engagement, and I spent this amount of money getting that. So is it worth it? Is it not? So you can look at the ROI by the amount of time that you're spending on certain tasks as well. So I think that's really cool to look at. Yeah.
So, last couple questions. First of all, I have a feeling that you yourself had to really grow in order to take on the role that you have, because there's a really big difference between being in the trenches and being a doer and then really learning how to manage and eventually lead. Can you give us maybe one piece of advice? Maybe there's a mantra or, some advice you took on or a quote or something that really helps you remember how to be in the role of a leader.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that you can't do it alone. When you start, if you're working as a virtual assistant, you are very much, sometimes you feel like you're all alone and you're at your desk every day, just kind of plugging away. And sometimes you talk to your clients, sometimes you talk to other people, but really you're by yourself. You can't do that when you're in management or you're managing others. You have to rely on everybody else around you. So you can't ever feel like you're alone or you're the only one that can make that decision, or I'm just going to make this decision and hope that everybody will be okay with it, because it's just not going to work. So I always have to just kind of say, like, look, I'm not in this alone. No matter how bad of a day I could have or, problem that I'm stuck on, I know that I have a whole team to support me. Always. I could count on anyone at any time to kind of drop what they're doing. Anytime we have a emergency, a client's website goes down at midnight on a Saturday, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I just put a call out on our little internal social media, and we've got 5 people there willing to kind of jump in and help. It's not all on our back. So I think kind of realizing that is a big thing as I continued to grow, is like, I have to learn. It's not just about, it's not just me. I do have a whole team I can rely on and support that will support me all the time. It's awesome.
I have to say, it's one of the most attractive features for me about CVA and working with you guys is that I know no matter what's going on, like if something's going on, I don't just have Jessica, I have everybody who, is behind Jessica, can sort it out or help us, get to a new level, or she's got something going on, there's backup. I mean, I've been through so many people in my life that I know having that backup and that team approach is invaluable. And it's not something everybody wants to build for themselves. All right, last question. Do you have one technology or tool that just is indispensable for you? It's like it's the thing that you wish everybody had as a business owner.
I would say right now, because it changes all the time.
Yep,
right now, I would say Infusionsoft. I mean, I love it. I can't say enough about it. I know some people can get frustrated by it. But I just think the way that it can automate your marketing is worth the investment 150%. And the things that it can do for your business that I think even people that have Infusionsoft aren't even aware of. Some of the things that it can do for you, I think, is incredible. So, even just creating opportunities for your business, the nurturing sequences that you can do in there with your campaigns and your marketing, and the fact that there's a ton of free campaigns that are in the marketplace for clients, I love Infusionsoft. Can't say enough about it. That's my favorite tool of the moment. So ask me in 6 months, it might be different, but right now,
all right, we'll come back to 6 months and do this again. No, Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing. And I have to say, I highly recommend Contemporary VA. They are, by doubt, one of the most solid and I think customer-oriented virtual assistant companies that I've ever worked with. And we've got the link right here on the screen if you'd like to check them out and put in your name to be matched with a potential VA. And it's also here in the show notes if you'd like to, go over to check out Contemporary VA. Their matchmaking process, it takes about 5 days or 7 days. So I can't remember what it was, Jennifer.
Yeah, it depends. We typically try to get you matched up within 2 business days. It really depends on the client's schedule. So we'll do an initial call and then we'll do a strategic call with you. So if your schedule's open, we can get you matched pretty quick.
Good. I love that. Yeah, because I know when people make the decision to go to the next level and hire better help, it's like, I want it
now. Right, exactly. Yeah, we try to make it as quick as we can.
Yeah. I'd really love to hear, hey, what's popped for you today? What's something that you can put into action to help you optimize your business? Maybe it was an insight from Jennifer, or just really getting it's time to hire a team. Head on over to melaniebensonstrick.com and you can go over to the blog and let us know on the blog notes, what is it that you are going to put into action? All right, everybody, thanks for being here today. And Jennifer, thanks again for sharing all your wisdom and inspiring us to really evolve and grow as leaders by hiring the right team. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Melanie.
See you next week.